Alright, so, what do you think? Let's start with the worst character. Let's just get the worst character in the show out of the way. And that's this guy. The mechanic chick's boyfriend. Alright, now look. I've never, been dating a girl and, her ex is, still around and they're, hanging out and they're, doing, dirt together, doing shady shit together. But I can imagine that it's a little stressing, right? Maybe he's a little jealous, maybe he's a little concerned, you know what I mean? I get that. But you never can contact the fucking authorities. What the fuck is up, internet? I'm that dude, Swainzilla, aka old guy with too much time on his hands, coming at you from the man cave, and this is Tier List. I get a kick out of watching tier list videos, so I figured it would be fun to make my own. But don't get it twisted. My lists are the definitive lists. You can disagree with my placings all you want, but then you'll just be admitting that you're wrong. In this installment, I'm going to tier list 36 of the main Andor Season 1 characters. I like to hide the choices until they're chosen, just to keep you on your toes. But I first decided to do a review series for Andor just as a way to practice making review videos, because that's something I wanted to tinker with down the line. But then I accidentally fell in love with the show and its amazing characters. And now I want to rank them. Alright, so, what do you think? Let's start with the worst character. Let's just get the worst character in the show out of the way. And that's this guy. The mechanic chick's boyfriend. Alright, now look. I've never, been dating a girl and her ex is still around and they're hanging out and they're doing dirt together, doing shady shit together. But I can imagine that it's a little stressing, right? Maybe he's a little jealous, maybe he's a little concerned, you know what I mean? I get that. But you never can contact the fucking authorities. You ask me, he got what he had coming, dude, if you ask me. He should have just, I don't know how else he could have handled it other than, you know what I mean? If he can't feel like he can talk to his girl, hey girl, hey mechanic chick, I'm not comfortable with this. You know what I mean? And if she can't handle that kind of conversation, then dude, you gotta, I know that the planet they're on, there's probably not a whole lot to pick from, right? So he's probably just everybody's kind of just desperate. But you can't fucking get the Empire involved, dude. You never want to get law enforcement involved in anything, especially relationship shit. This guy is kind of apparently he showed up in some other Star Wars stuff, but I'm not up on the lore like that, so I don't know who he is, but I feel like they definitely presented him in a way that where you would think that he was going to be an interesting character, and they kind of just glazed over him. Oh yeah, the Rent-A-Cop, we're going to put him ahead of, because he was funny. This Rent-A-Cop dude, if the Rent-A-Cop's chief, if the Rent-A-Cop would have listened to this dude, the rebellion would still be floundering around, you know what I mean? Shit wouldn't be jumping off like it was. And that's all because fucking Rent-A-Cop is a top tier. He's S tier. Rent-A-Cop is top tier. But if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be in this fucking mess. You know what I mean? Talking about the Rent-A-Cop. Oh my god, this fucking guy. Man, I mean, I love the banter between him and his mom, which we probably aren't going to get going forward. I feel like he's going to team up with the blonde Empire lady, and mom's kind of going to get dumped. Because he's already been, like, neglecting her and shit. And now he's, like, in love with Deidre. And so I think he's going to be going to chase that tail. And Mom's going to be like, what about Uncle? Whatever the uncle's name is, I forget. But yeah, I am curious to follow along with Rent-A-Cop. He is intense. He is a creeper. But he is committed. So you gotta tip your cap to that. Who else didn't we get to see? I'm still curious about the ex. I'm gonna put him in B. I'm still not convinced this guy's dead. I want to know, we gotta get like a power level of the blasters, because I feel like he only got shot once. Now, is it like the blaster just kills you like that? Or does it have to be... I mean, I just feel like that he had some more story to give us. You know what I mean? Like, why did he go? Why did he leave being a stormtrooper? Like, what's going on there? Like, what's the backstory on this guy? I feel like they kind of started out this first season with a lot of flashbacks, and then they kind of just stopped doing it. So I don't know if we'll get that in the second season. Knock on wood. Hopefully there is a second season. But yeah, I want to know if this guy's still kicking. And if he has a backstory, and if he's going to be like playing a bigger role going forward. Who else we got? Along the same lines, I mean, the lieutenant guy, right? Like, they got into that shootout at the end of the heist, but is anybody going to finger him as being like a traitor? Are they going to fucking play the crying, screaming dead fucking children torture shit to get the dirt on what's going on with the rebellion? I mean, did he die? Like they kind of left that one, like, we knew there was some fallout, like the Empire was jacked about the heist, but we didn't get any information on these two guys, which I'm definitely curious about them going forward. The guy that runs the mechanic shop, I mean, I guess he was a good character, but like he just filled a role, right? Like, they tortured the shit out of him too, right? They killed him, and that's what, maybe he goes in B, just because he kind of him getting fucked. That other character is not on my list. The guy that built the bomb, he's not on my list, but since he kind of inspired him, we'll put him right between these two guys, right? Good character, didn't get a whole lot on him, but he was a major, like, if that kid wasn't inspired to build that bomb, who knows how that whole funeral thing would have played out. We got the blonde chick's right-hand man. I feel like he's going to play a bigger role going forward, because I think he's got an agenda. I don't know what his agenda is, but I mean, everybody in the Empire has an agenda, so he definitely has one. I just don't know what it is, and I feel like he's going to be like, it's going to be him. There's going to be some kind of like triangle between him, the Rent-A-Cop, and the blonde chick, because I feel like she might get bounced. Like, they might have to go rogue, because she fucked up. That was her show, the whole funeral thing and trying to catch Andor, and that didn't work out. And if Rent-A-Cop got bounced, like, she's probably going to get bounced too, but we'll see. We got the guy from the Bear. We'll put him in B. We'll put him at the bottom of B. I like this guy's acting in the show. I've seen him in a couple of things. Like, he was in The Bear, the show with the kid from Shameless. And I remember watching him. He was so annoying in that fucking Nosferatu show with the girl with the motorcycle or whatever. And he kept calling her Brat. His daughter was Brat. And he was just such a piece of shit. And just, you couldn't root for the guy. And I feel like you could tell that he was alright as an actor. In The Bear, he's like good, but I don't think his character is very believable. So it's kind of like, eh. And he was really good in this. I thought he was really good in this. I just thought his character was a little transparent. Like, you knew he was the bad guy, right? You knew he was going to be... something was going to go on with this guy. You kind of saw that one coming. So we'll put him at the bottom of B. After him, we'll put the blonde chick from the FBI's... call him the cock block. Like, this guy's trying to... He's got an agenda for sure. And his main agenda is trying to fucking make sure our girl Deidre, which because these two are linked, we're going to put her above Rent-A-Cop. Because this chick, dude... this chick is fucking interesting. Like, she is intense. She's got more of an agenda than anybody. I don't know what her story is. I feel like there's got to be something fueling it because nobody else is as motivated as her. Is it just because she's a chick? I mean, I feel like even in a galaxy far, far away, that seems like kind of a far-fetch. And the way that the show's built, I don't think they would go for some, like, that's the only reason why she's motivated. I feel like there would be, like, a deeper motivation, like some kind of backstory that kind of, like, drives her. But she's interesting as fuck. The guy that's trying to cock block her, like, he's the one getting information from the senator's driver, which is interesting. So there's going to be, like, some kind of, I don't have the driver on my list, but the senator, well, this guy, I mean, going forward, he's probably going to be in the second season. He probably will take over Deidre's spot and have some fucking, some leverage now because he's kind of been proven right that this was kind of a waste of time. Or, I don't know if, maybe it won't be a waste of time. Maybe that'll wake the Empire up, seeing how this shit jumped off. Maybe that'll motivate, maybe she'll get kicked up a notch because she's motivating, the Empire along with how the, rebellion is motivated. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out. But Deidre's a badass. I love her character. I can't wait to see this duo, this fucking duo, and what they fucking come up with because they're intense. Like, sparks are gonna be flying between these motherfuckers, that's for sure. Let's get an A tier. Who do we want to put in the A tier? Let's put the daughter in the A tier. Now this girl, like, she's subtly interesting. Like, she's kind of like a background character, but she's like, she got me asking questions, like, a lot. Like, what is this girl's deal? Like, the relationship with her and the father, the senator's husband, is like weird. In one of my reviews, I was predicting that the senator's going to have to kill these motherfuckers. But it turns out it wasn't that bad. She just has to marry her off to, like, some thug's fucking kid. So it's kind of interesting how her dislike for the senator, in some kind of a way, like, helped for her to make that kind of decision. I'm really like, did she manipulate the husband by accusing him of gambling in order to make this happen? Like, that's real crazy. That's like some real backhanded type shit, which is, that shit was interesting to me. I like the whole senator thing. That shit was, the espionage angle was legit. Speaking of which, the fucking old friend. The old friend, I like how we'll put him here for now. Like, I like this guy who's acting. I like this dude's acting. I like the character, but the character isn't really doing anything. Right? He hasn't really done anything. He's kind of just like a conduit to make things easier for the senator. But he's not doing much. I liked how the character's acted. I like the character. There's nothing about the character I dislike. It's just like he's kind of like, he's well acted. And I feel like he's definitely going to be playing a role down the line. So I feel like he's going to be, there's some characters, like some of these people down here, clearly this guy's dead, so he's not going to be playing along. Maybe we should put him over here. Because I feel like he's going to be playing a role in the second season. These guys, not so much. Maybe this guy. Should I rank it that way? Just because he's going to be kind of more important than him? I like this character better than that, though. Yeah, let's just do this. Yeah, we'll just do that. Actually, I like him better than this guy, too, even though he's going to be down the road. I don't know. I'm kind of just... I'm winging it here. Another guy we probably won't see, who was good, even though he was awful. Like, he was a total, like... man, this guy was so fucking entitled. But he played it well. Like, it was so believable. I like him better than I like this guy. This guy, like his family, I'm kind of curious to what happened to his family. They didn't really show what happened, how the brunette from the heist got out of there. But his character was played well. I mean, he was just entitled, and I believed it every fucking second of it. Let's get another A tier. Let's go with this guy, the Rent-A-Cop's buddy. I don't know if this guy... I feel like he's definitely gonna be involved. I feel like we got he's gonna be with these two and probably this guy. This is gonna be the team up. And they're just gonna be like this ragtag of like how the rebels are like a ragtag group. These are gonna be like mercenary, vigilante types. These guys, and maybe this guy might get kicked up a notch. I don't know how they're gonna play it off, but I like this right here because he likes this guy so much, and she's gonna think this dude's a knucklehead, right? I feel. So this guy's gonna be like the comedy relief in this whole situation. But I like this character. I mean, I don't like his character, but I mean, the guy acted it well. I mean, it was believable, and you know what I mean. I still don't understand the whole changing hat thing. I saw some video where that way it would be easier if something jumped off that they would be able to find each other, but. I mean, it was just subtle, so if that was why they did that, like, without even talking about it, that just shows how fucking close these two dudes are. So she might be, like, the wedge in this. But I'm definitely curious to see how that plays out. The mechanic guy, since we're going with buddies here, this guy, like, his character was kind of boring, like, throughout the most part, until he was, like... Because I wasn't really seeing the connection, right? Like, Andor bullshitted with him and tried to get him to, like, be his alibi, like, early on. But since Andor was off-world, like, the whole season, you only saw him interact with the mechanic and Andor's mom, like, lady. So he was kind of, like, lost in the sauce. But I had a feeling like he was going to play a bigger role, and he did. He, like, he fucking headbutted a guy with a helmet on and shit. Like, dude, he went rogue. And I feel like going forward, he's gonna be in the gang. Like, it's gonna be. Well, he got sent off with the mechanic girl and somebody else. Who was the black lady that they got sent off with? I don't know, but. I did hear some talk of the mechanic girl getting a spin-off, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. If so, maybe it's him and her and the mechanic, or the blue collar dude, the friend, and the robot. We'll put the droid in here. We'll put the droid behind the bear guy. The droid is alright. I like the droid. I feel like the droid was really emotional, though. Like, I mean, I don't mind the robots being, like, sentient, like, you know what I mean, R2-D2 and C-3PO and all that. But, like, this thing was like an emotional wreck. Like, he really was. Like, this thing was going through it. Like, the whole time, like, dude, you gotta have, like, a stiffer upper lip. Like, you're a robot. Like, Jesus Christ, get your shit together. Like, they wanted to give him a tissue. But at the same time, you did kind of feel for it. And so when that fucking... The Empire guy kicked him over, like, yeah, people were like, We're not digging that. That was not the vibe. So that I do like, but he is an integral part, so that's why it's kind of high. But I mean, he's a droid. It is what it is. You kind of want more comic relief from your droid than like like just sadness. So we'll just keep him right in this area. That's a pretty good spot. Another person I don't think we're gonna see, who I thought was pretty interesting, is the fucking doctor guy from the prison. Like, if it wasn't for him, he probably wouldn't have got the foreman inmate like riled up enough to decide to join up with Andor and try to escape. So, and I mean, I don't know, this actor is really familiar, and I think he did a really good job. And he played it off, and you could tell like he was just like, he was on the other end. He was just like, dude, it's over. Like, he was not going to be inspired until, like, everybody started going, there's only one way out, or whatever. So then he got motivated. But I don't think we're going to see him any further on down the road. Who else? We should put some more A tier. Speaking of the foreman character, this guy, actually we're gonna put him top tier right now, just because the acting was so fucking good and believable. Like, I mean, you see that's kind of like a trope you see in any kind of like prison escape type situation where there's like a fucking somebody that's like more loyal, or harder to convince. That they have to take their freedom in their own hands or whatever, and he's that guy. But he did it in a way where, like, slowly, the way that they did it, the arc, like, he was not feeling that. You could tell from the get-go that he was like, you know what I mean, he was gonna fucking rule the shit with a fucking iron fist. But then shit started happening, you know what I mean? They found out that one crew, the whole floor got fried, and that changed his tune. Right, and then you could see the things that were in front of him being like clear as day, like, oh fuck, I'm here forever, right? I'm just doing their bidding. And I feel like the I can't swim thing at the end. I'm not buying it. I feel like he gets out. He has to get out. Maybe not. I mean, that's the thing. There's a bunch of characters where I'm not like definitively sure if they're dead or not. Like, they kind of left a lot of things hanging, like him. We got our lieutenant guy and our ex stormtrooper. Like, but I feel like this guy's alive. One of the few characters that I know we're not going to see in season 2, but is super, super important. Actually, I'm going to put him here. Was our nerdy kid. I forget it. I never bothered to remember these characters' names, especially, I mean, there's so many of them, and they're all like alien stuff. I'm not bothered. I'm just like, he's the nerdy kid, right? So he's the one that is, he's going to be the one that inspires Andor, or has inspired Andor, because he was listening to his, because he was listening to his manifesto, or whatever, so... this kid's key important. He was definitely interesting. I mean, his voiceover where we were hearing his writings was like intense. Like, you could tell he put a lot of thought into it and was really motivated by it, and that made it even sadder that he's not going to be able to go forward with the rebellion, but he helped start it. So, you know what I mean? Kudos to that kid. Rest in peace, young man. Speaking of getting things started, I think we gotta put the blonde chick from the heist right here. This chick, like, I thought she was cool, right? I thought she was gonna be a badass, like, from the drop. But then you find out, like, she's entitled and spoiled and rich, and she's still, like, you know what I mean? She's out in the mud, you know what I mean? Fucking going through it for the cause. So you gotta fucking, you know what I mean? And she wears her emotions on her sleeve. Like, yeah, the rebellion's important to her, but she's also in love with the brunette from the heist. I'm gonna put her right behind her. I mean, our little coupling here, and the way that they framed them and a lot of the scenes where they interacted kind of showed like, I felt like it expressed to us that they have like different values, right? Like to mirror off of each other. Like the brunette is like, we don't know what's motivating her, right? I feel like her family was killed or something, right? I think that's, yeah, some parts of her family were killed or something, which is motivating her. But like, she is like, our blonde girl is like, hey, look, there's room in this rebellion for a little, you know what I mean, a little nookie, a little nookie. And the brunette is like, look, rebellion first, what's left over is for us, right? And right at the moment, like, shit is too hot. That she is focused on, these two women are definitely going to be playing a major role going forward, especially now since Andor is, they don't have to try to kill Andor. I feel like we're gonna get like, it'll be curious. I don't know what kind of time jump we're gonna get between this season and the next one, to see where some of these storylines line up. But I feel like they're not gonna leave us hanging on anything, right? I'm pretty confident that they have the first two seasons already planned out, right? And if the second season's anything like the first one, then I feel like we're gonna be pretty satisfied at the end of it. Who else goes A? This guy goes A, right? This fucking guy. Like, what's this guy's deal? Like, he's a hard ass, but he doesn't want to, he knows that this guy's above him, right? So he's answering to this guy. He's not trying to fucking, you know what I mean? He's impressed with her blonde chick, but he's also concerned that she's gonna fucking bring heat on him. This guy doesn't want to get noticed by this guy. He wants to fucking rule his little shit, do his gig, and go home at night, or whatever the fuck he does, right? But I do like his character. I'm curious. He's kind of funny in an unintentional way. And I feel like he's gonna continue along with us in the second season. I think so. We definitely know this guy is the guy from Rogue One. I mean, I watched Rogue One when it first came out one time, so I didn't really recognize him. I just saw like videos. I watched a lot of like the Screen Crush Easter egg videos after I watched the show, just so I could because there was definitely some questions I had about what was going on, like what was the lore, what that kind of shit. But anyway, so this guy's going to be in Rogue One, and it's kind of crazy how he was like, I thought he was going to die. No, not him. No, he is the one I thought was going to die, because I didn't know he was in Rogue One until after I watched the episode. The first episode he was in. I thought he was going to die because he was like, he was the canary in the fucking tunnel. You know what I mean? He was the first one to start chirping, hey, this shit's fucked up. Your number doesn't matter. You're not going anywhere. So I thought he was going to have to sacrifice himself. And the growth of him being like, dude, you're fucked. You're just fucked. To, you know what I mean, hanging on that cliff and somehow powering through. I mean, somehow that galvanized, like, people have to know, you know what I mean? And that's why they split up. But we know they end up getting back together. So we'll probably, I don't know if we'll probably get like some side missions with him, maybe in season 2. But he probably won't pop up until the end of season 2, right? Because I feel like that's when they're going to be like, all right, put these guys together, and then that's how Rogue One happens, right? Another character that I was curious about all year, or all season, was Cassian's father, or the guy that was being his father, or whatever. Like, they talked about him being hung, and we saw them, like, the stormtroopers aim at him or whatever in the street. But I feel like something happened between that, him being on the street, and him getting hung. that they kind of left out. I feel like there's something else there. There's a little crumb of information that I feel like it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like it for a long time throughout the show. That, you know what I mean. They did give us a flashback where he was cleaning up the stolen stuff, whatever the machinery they were kaifing. But I just have this gut feeling that there's more to that story with him. But we'll find out. His mother figure, she's top of A. Like, we didn't get a whole lot of her. Like, we don't know why she was stealing Empire shit. Like, why her and the father figure were, like, happened to just end up on that planet where he was at. I feel like they got, like, some kind of alert or something, that there was something there, that's why they showed up. But, like, what were they doing? Like, before the Empire kind of kicked off, what were they doing to get them started in stealing shit and stuff? And then, I really didn't think she died. I really didn't. I thought that was kind of like they were throwing us there. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure. Maybe these other guys I'm thinking are still around or dead just because they killed her like they did. But, I mean, we did get the little hologram. We did get the Tupac hologram eulogy that she gave herself, which was really good. That's kind of what puts her on top of A, because I feel like that was like something that galvanized people. Like, that kind of set shit. That kind of set the start, at least on that planet, like the beef. You know what I mean? The little rebellion, the little outburst. Like, she kind of kicked that off with her speech. So we'll put her in A. Forrest Whitaker's character. We know we're going to see him going forward. And he was definitely intense. Like, he's just a great actor. And I feel like they got a lot. They got their, whatever they paid him, they got their money's worth, because he was intense. The exchanges between him and the museum guy were, like, top notch. Like, and when he was talking about, whatever the Tubes guy name was, like, Tubes was the other guy's, his henchman, his sidekick's name was Tubes or whatever, when he accused him of being a spy and he was about to fucking kill everybody. I feel like he gets more extreme in Rogue One, because he was kind of just like on his own, doing his own thing. Although he was gonna sign up to join that one dude that got massacred, and that scene was just so intense. And he's just such a good actor, and we might get to see him a little bit more in season 2. That'll be fun. I gotta put the mom up top. Like, I don't know if there was a character. I might put her here. I don't know if there was a character that entertained me as much, or I was happy to see when they popped up on the screen as the mom. The mom is just, she is just fucking hilarious. Her voice, I could listen to her fucking roast her kid like nonstop. Just so entertaining. She was great. I loved that. The woman I never seen the woman who acted, who the actress was that played her. But phenomenal. Let's bring in the mechanic chick. Like, the mechanic chick, I liked her character. I like that even though she was tortured the way that she was, right? And that they didn't get her to, she didn't really know anything, so she couldn't really squeal, but she was still, even though all that shit happened, she was still willing to take the risk to lie about her and Luthen. Like, she was willing to sacrifice that guy to protect this guy, because she knows that this guy probably knows where Cassian is. Because he was the last one that she knew he was with. So she's got to go here. Just because, other than that, like, you know what I mean? She got a guy killed. And then I don't know. She's like she's a good character, but I'm not. If she gets a spinoff, I'll watch it for sure. But she was just the love interest. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that's not what I was watching. That's not what had me hooked on Andor. Was the love interest stuff. Other than these two motherfuckers right here, who are probably gonna have a shit ton of kids or something by the end of by the beginning of season 2. The biggest surprise of the show to me was this guy, right? Did anybody see him come? Did anybody see him being like the turncoat or the spy? Did anybody see that? Because I sure shit didn't. I didn't. They didn't really show him, tease him doing anything, so it was kind of out of the blue. But I don't think they can trust him. I felt like that was what he was. He already wanted out, and nothing had even happened yet. Just because he had a kid, he wanted out. So you feel like he's already been like. Yeah, I don't think he can trust him because now he's gonna get desperate to fucking get out, right? To get out of the rebellion. I don't know. I feel like you got to be careful with this guy. Another person I don't trust, but who is very interesting to me, is this guy. We got to put him. I think I'm gonna put him above the buddy here, right in here. Because he's more interesting than either of these two, but I don't like him. I like these guys better than him, but he's more interesting than they are. Because I feel like if she was bullshitting about knowing that he was accusing him of gambling, then he's going to feel some type of way, right? And he's already like, there's already like some friction there. And so if he feels like, wait, this bitch is lying. She knows I'm not gambling. I am gambling. Why would she not believe me? And she's going to marry my daughter off to some fucking thug? Like, I feel like he's going to play a pretty big role. These two right here. And I think, let's get the thug in here. The thug's got to go up here. This guy. We're putting him right here. This guy's interesting. This guy, like, granted, the fucking customs or whatever in this universe far, far and away, a long time ago, he's just like, he knows that as soon as he gets asked to show up, that the senator wants to talk to him, he knows he has a ton of leverage, right? So he's just fucking da-di-da-di-da. Oh, by the way, I want my fucking kid to fuck your daughter. Like, at least marry. Anyway, like just to throw that out there and have that, like, kind of confidence. And you can tell this dude's got swag, right? Like, he's got his hair fucking greased back. I don't know who this actor is. Phenomenal. So all the characters are played by phenomenal actors. All of them. But this guy is gonna be, so he's the reason we're gonna have, like, fucking spaceships and all this shit. This guy's gonna fund all that. He's gonna cover up the senator's shit, and he's just going to play a huge role going forward, I think. And I'm curious to see what the daughter and his kid, like, what's that couple going to be like? Are we going to get, like, the senator and her husband? Or are they going to be teammates? Are they going to be doing some dirt? Are they going to be rebellion? Are they going to fucking go Sith? Who knows? Who knows what the fuck's going on there? But I can't wait to find out. Another, like, wild card who, she's more important than the daughter, is the museum secretary lady. This woman, like, she's like, I've done it all or something. So you gotta wonder, like, I hope that we get, like, some backstory on how her and the museum guy and the senator all linked up, right? How all of this kind of, like, I don't need, like, big ass long flashbacks or anything, but, like, some dialogue where she explains in a cool way, where we find out how she is involved, how she knows the blonde girl from the heist and the museum guy, and what's motivating her, right? Like, what's her relationships? Like, they kind of, like, she was kind of lost in the sauce too. You kind of knew she was important, like when she went and met up with the chick from the blonde heist. I didn't even realize it was her because she was like, you know, they were both fucking, they had the glow up. They both had the glow up. So I didn't really recognize them when they were meeting up. So I'm curious. She's definitely A tier. Definitely curious about what role she's going to play going forward. One person who we know we're going to see for certain is Andor. And Andor, I'm going to put him right here for now, right? Right now, he's top 3, but he's going to end up being top 5. He's the star of the show, but he's not the most interesting character. I feel like he grew a lot, but we kind of already knew what to expect from him. We knew the storyline. Even though I watched Rogue One once fucking 12 years ago or whenever it was it came out, I'm aware of who Andor is. And so we know what he's going to be, right? So even though he kind of started off as like this fucking swashbuckler, you know what I mean? He's fucking killing cops with no sweat and bouncing around and being shiesty and shit. You know what I mean? I feel like he did grow, but we expected that. We expected that he was going to grow. So he played his role. The acting was definitely top notch. I wasn't really paying attention to his acting, to be honest. There was a couple times, like when the prison episodes, when I really was like, oh shit, he's killing it too. Like, because you're not really, the story revolves around him. So you're not really like focused on what he's doing, right? It's everything else around him. But, yeah, he was killing it for sure. And I'm stoked to see what his relationship with the senator. Do they meet? Senator's top 2. Senator's top 2, right? I don't know if there was I was more interested in anything that she was doing than anyone else, just because I felt like she had to put some skin in the game. Like, granted, everybody else is risking their lives and all that stuff, but like, she has the most to lose, right? Everybody else lose, like, you know what I mean? They get killed or whatever. They don't have this, you know what I mean? They're not a senator. They're not like this figure in government. Like, if she were like, something were to happen to her, there's more of an effect overall, right? Like, she's kind of like the dam. Even though things are fucked up with the Empire, like, she's at least given them some kind of resistance, enough to we got this guy fucking, you know what I mean? Like, we got this guy fucking spying on her. I'm gonna put Forrest Whitaker's character down here. Like, he's good, but I don't know how much more we're gonna see of him. She's dead. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. But yeah, the senator she's top 2. So you know who's top 1. You know who the best character of Andor is. Definitely Luthen. This guy is the linchpin of everything. Like, and I hope we get to find out more about him. Like, of all the characters, I feel like the senator, we know what we're getting with her. We don't know what's going on with these two. We do kind of know what's going on with him, but she's still kind of a wild card. We know we're getting with him. Wild card. Still curious about what's going on with him. I don't think we're going to see her. And then these two, like, yeah, okay. I like the list I got right now. But yeah, Luthen, this guy, like, as soon as he pops up on screen, you know you're going to get a shit ton of Easter eggs. I mean, I feel like those guys that make the Easter egg videos are just like, as soon as that museum pops up, they're on Google, right? They're Google imaging everything. They're like, this pointy hat with Star Wars. They're just, dude, they're probably spending hours and hours figuring out what the shit in the background of the museum is. And he's just clutch, like, well acted. I mean, he's so believable. I was surprised he showed up on the planet that everything jumped off at the end. I wasn't expecting that, but like, he had a couple monologues where he just fucking, you know what I mean? Like, just put some music to that shit, right? You can have a fucking football team running through the walls for you, through brick walls, with this guy telling you, I gave up everything, right? Like, he knows he's gonna die doing this shit, right? And I just hope we get to see a little backstory between him, see how he linked up with his secretary. How did this relationship begin? Like, where did they... Because, like, she's really, like, even talking to her friend, her school chum, this guy, like, she had to bring it up to him, like, she was sure but not sure, right? Because there's a lot of risk with these people, especially her, considering, like I just said, how much shit she has to lose. But yeah, I think that's my list. I don't really think that I could change anything. Let's just give it a little glance here, okay? Well, anyway, that's my list, and I'm sticking to it. Feel free to jump in the comments, cuss me out, complain that I don't know any of the characters' names. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna learn them. I know them by how I know them, right? That's just the way it is. I know this dude's name's Luthen. Mothma? That sounds like a character that fucking Godzilla has to fight. I'm not gonna remember that shit. Deidre, right? Run-a-Cup. Cassian Andor is the show. Like, I'm not gonna remember the thug. I'm not gonna waste my time. Same thing. I watched Game of Thrones. I don't know any. Jon Snow's the only motherfucker's name I know. Like, and I've watched all 8 seasons of the first show, and I still don't remember any of their fucking names. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Catch you on the next one later.